Համացանցի մեջ շատ սիրելի դիտողներ, այս անգամ մենք կրկին ողջունում ենք ձեզ մեր պլատոնական զրույցներում, երևի թե հենց բառի բուն իմաստով պլատոնական, որտեղ հեռավար ռեժիմում ենք այն անցկացնում, եւ որոշեցինք խիստ թեմատիկ անդրադառնալ մի փոքրիկ հետաքրքիր պատմության։ Մի մարդու, մի իտալուհու, ով բազմիցս առիթներ ունեցել լինելու Հայաստանում եւ անել ամեն ինչ, որպեսզի Հայաստանը դիրքավորվի լավագույնս աշխարհում, մասնավորապես այս պարագայում Եվրոպական միությունում, տարբեր ջանքեր է գործադրել, տարբեր առիթներ է եղել Հայաստանում, սիրահարվել Հայաստանին, գուցե հիմա մենք հասկանանք, կամ գուցե նաեւ երբեմն ուղղակի խիստ հոգատարությունից ելնելով երբեմն նաեւ ջոյանացել, բայց արդյունքում մի հետաքրքիր հրապարակում է իրականացել այդ անձնավորությունը, այդ անձնավորության անունն է Teodora Teani, մենք նրա հետ խոսենք անգլերեն լեզվով, եւ նա մի հրապարակում արեց, որը բավականաչափ մեծ հետաքրքրություն առաջացրեց, մոտ 10 լրատվամիջոցներ մամուլում հայտնվեց նրա հրապարակումը, եւ այնտեղից իմ կողմից ընտրված ամենահետաքրքիր տողերից մեկն էր, որ նայում եմ դատարկված Ֆլորենցիայի նկարները, իբրև իտալացի է ասում, եւ զգում նույն կարոտը, ինչ իրենց պատուհանից Արարատին նայող իմ թանկագին հայ բարեկամները։ Սա կարծում եմ շատ բնորոշիչ է, մարդ, ով այսօր եւս գտնվում է ինքնանկուսացման մեջ, Բրյուսելում է աշխատում, եւ ես երկար նախաբանից հետո վերջապես ուզում եմ հնարավորություն տալ անդրադառնալու եւ խոսելու եւ ողջունելու նրան, հենց այս թեմայով եւ մի քանի այլ թեմաներով եւ նրա կողմից Հայաստանի ընկալման եւ գուցե հետագա ամերիկների հետ կապված խոսքս վերաբերում է Հայաստանի Եվրոպացի Բարեկամներ հասարակական կազմակերպության, որի գլխավորացիան կայքում է Բրյուսելում, այդ ընկերության հաղորդակցության գծով ղեկավար Teodora Teani. Teodora, ciao.
Hi.
Hello, Teodora.
Hello.
So good to talk to you. I know you've been waiting for quite a long time. It was a big introduction, but I guess it was impossible to do it otherwise.
But even understood something.
Of
here
course.
And here. So now maybe next time I'm gonna speak in Armenian.
Oh yes, we're so much looking forward. You know, that's the way we always do with foreigners. We start teaching them Armenian. I don't know why, but that's the way we generally do. You know, this is. Teodora, just before coming to the publication, because I was just telling to all those who will be watching us about the publication you had and about the experience you had with Armenia. I mean, working with Armenia, in telling it in a very general sense. But before we turn to that, Armenia, when was that the first time you came across with Armenia?
The first time I came across with Armenia was many years ago in Rome, when I was attending my master, and there I met an Armenian, and she's still my friend, and she lives here in Brussels now. So we met again in Brussels. So that's the first time, over 10 years ago.
Okay, so it's again.
I bump into in Armenian, and then
so it's
life brings you North Armenia, of course. That's
okay. I know that you're from Toscana and Toscan and lots of people tell stories about Toscan people and Armenians having many similarities. Well, based on my personal experience of communicating with you and doing some projects together previously, I could surely confirm that it's true. We have quite many similarities, but what are the ones that you notice? That's very interesting to know.
We have many similarities with Italians in general, not only with the Toscan. With the Toscan, you have the food, you have the wine, and you have the temper. You feel like you are the center of the world, as we do, because we are the motherland of the Italian language. Well, yeah, you feel really, you have this nationalistic, you're very attached to your homeland, like the Toscan people. So before being Italian, when I'm in Italy, I'm Toscan. Then, of course, when I'm abroad, I'm Italian. But when I'm in Italy, I'm Toscan before.
And how's it for an Italian to be landlocked in Brussels? I know that because of the work and because of being engaged for several years already with the European Friends of Armenia, you're working and you're living there in Brussels. How does it feel? And I'm just coming to the situation and to the feelings you had. I mean, the landlocked Italian in Brussels, because we've been here all thinking much and we were quite emotional and empathic. I should also tell about Italy and what was happening there, and it's still unfortunately happening. So coming to an Italian who's in Brussels, the feelings being far from home and being landlocked, and then the feelings and associations with Armenia.
You feel deprived of your freedom of movement and of your liberty, which I took for granted until Italy went on a lockdown. And Italy was the first country going on a lockdown. Even when I was walking down the street of Brussels, oh my God, you're Italian, and people were treated like I felt, the discrimination even for being an Italian. And the lockdown even came here, and of course we cannot move, but we are really far away. The freedom of movement was one of the pillars of the European Union before this. So I was born, I was really used to travel without even thinking about not being able to move. And now, I'm not able to move. So borders became real again in the European Union, which was not the case before. So we are landlocked like the Armenians now. But you don't really get it until you experience it. So it doesn't matter how many times I came to Armenia, but still I came to Armenia with my Italian passport as a European Union citizen. And then of course I got really close to the Armenians, to Armenia as a country, to the people. But I could not fully comprehend what it really means until now.
Okay, so that's an interesting conclusion. At least you reflected and wrote about that, because while reading your notes, especially about this freedom of the movement and having a passport, which might create a barrier for you, that really, I hope this pandemic is over and then later the bureaucracy becomes even less, hopefully, for any nationality. But this is an interesting association with Armenia. Okay, Teodora, and what are you missing the most about Armenia, and what are the plans if the pandemic is over? Are you missing Armenia? Because before that it was just I think it's of course the people and feelings and connections, but I think it was work and business trip. And how about now? After all those reflections, what do you feel about Armenia?
Of course I miss Armenia, but I was even missing Armenia even before the pandemic, but I knew that I
was expecting that answer. There couldn't be any other answer, surely. Okay.
But I could come there whenever I wanted. Now I know that, now I'm not able to travel, not even there. Because of course I'm Italian, and of course everyone is in a lockdown. So now we're all blocked and stuck in our countries and in our houses. But of course I do miss Armenia. I miss the climate, I miss the people, I miss the aura that Yerevan has, which you only experience it when you visit Yerevan. That's no other way to understand it. So, but the future plans, of course, as soon as this pandemic is over, because it's gonna be over. Nothing is still and nothing is permanent. So everything's closed and change is going to come. Of course, I'm gonna come to Armenia. I promise. So.
Okay, that's the Armenian perspective of your plans. How about your personal plans? That's very interesting. What were the conclusions for your own life? How did this situation changed or impacted on your worldview? That's very interesting to hear.
What more now everything slowed down. Everything is
coming to Platonic questions, more philosophical questions.
No, it's been put on a standby, or just. And when people say I want to go back to my real life, this is real life. It's just different from the life we had before. So now I'm adapting. I've been adapting to this new life, and I think I did. And actually, I feel quite comfortable. Of course, everything is lower. Before we were running from a place to the other. We had really our busy schedule. We were so frenetic. We couldn't even stop and think about what to do or what to do next. But as a good friend of mine told me, no drastic decision or no permanent decision has to be made during the pandemic. So I won't do it. Even if, of course, I'm reflecting on the future and the future plans and what's going to happen next. This is a moment of reflection and of making decisions.
Okay. I like this philosophical approach. A very good German friend of mine was calling this time for philosophy. well, it was happening to me the same way. I was rushing from one place to another, doing lots of things at the same time. And then he was stopping me sometimes when he was in Yerevan, telling me, Alex, just stop. You need some time for philosophy. And I guess it's now kind of a world time for philosophy. Of course, we don't want anyone to die, and we hope that the solution will be there soon, so that people will be safe, and we will communicate again, and we will manage to satisfy our social demands, at least being together and communicating. But of course, on the other hand, it's an interesting experience, and I totally agree with you that it's the real life. I mean, it's the life. It's not caused, and it's going, and it's moving. So we need to live anyway. In any case, so I totally agree with that philosophy, Teodora, and just because it's quite symbolic, that generally we have and we meet people who are doing, let's say, and let's talk with general terms, who are doing good for Armenia, and those people are mostly diasporan Armenians. It's very interesting. You're Italian with no Armenian roots, which we're always very skeptic about. We always want to find out, looking at your eyes, but still, yeah, an Italian who does campaigns for Armenia, who does at least reflects the true stories from Armenia and does a lot for Armenia, and it's very symbolic because this short program is going to be live, is going to be broadcasted right on the 23rd, on the eve of the Genocide Day. So I'm just again coming to this. I mean, you're a person who is campaigning and doing good for Armenia, and you're Italian. I think it's very interesting, and it's very well, it's very symbolic too. So I just wanted to know what are the plans for the future, because I'm sure that you have some plans there as European Friends of Armenia, and regardless of the pandemic, I think there are some ideas, and I think there will be some new things to be done for Armenia, and what's going on in this part, just to learn a bit.
And what we have to restart, of course, was everything that was put on standby because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown. So we're going to have our regular activities. I mean, we're going to organize events, we're going to organize media trips. For Armenia, we're going to even organize trips with the MEPs and politicians. We're going to bring them to Armenia, and then new projects, of course. Maybe this pandemic is going to even bring like new ideas, and new projects are going to be implemented. We could even start a blog. I don't know. Maybe it could be an idea to report on the pandemic. So we're going to have a before pandemic, while in pandemic, and an after pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
We could do it. And then we have future plans. But I mean, now we are waiting. We are waiting to see what's going to happen. But of course, we're going to keep working for the Armenians.
That's just great to learn. That's so good to know that we have such wonderful European friends there in Brussels, thinking about Armenia, reflecting on us, and putting some parallels with their lives. This is fantastic, Teodora. Thank you for this. And I shall be very honest. Me, Ararat, Yerevan, the whole Armenia, we're missing you very much. And hopefully we'll be meeting soon here, and we'll have a real platonic talk. Real one. They're
going to have a real one. We're going to meet soon. I would say between July and September, we're going to be able to meet.
Okay. If you say so from Brussels, then it's going to happen.
If I say so, yes, of course. Of course, it's going to happen.
Okay. Thank you very much, Teodora, for being with us. And take care of yourself. I know your parents are in Italy. I hope they stay home and they're safe. Warm regards to them. And I wish patience to all of us to overcome this big challenge. And thanks for the work you do. And we'll be surely in touch. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Սիրելի ուսանողներ, այսինքն համացանցային լիդողներ, այսօր մեր փոքրիկ կարճ զրույց ունեցանք Թեոդորա Թեանիի հետ, եւ ես կարծում եմ մենք անպայման իսկապես կլինենք մոտ ամիսներին արդեն առերես մեր պլատոնական զրույցը Թեոդորայի հետ։ Ես շատ ուրախ եմ, որ կան նման մարդիկ, ովքեր զբաղվում են մեր երկրի հեղինակությամբ եւ հաղորդակցության հարցերով Բրյուսելում եւ շատ կարևոր միջավայրերում։ Ես ուզում եմ կրկին շնորհակալություն հայտնել եւ ասել, որ մենք շատ շուտով կրկին կշփվենք ու կհանդիպենք։ Մինչ հանդիպում։